Hello from one of the most beautiful cities in all of Europe, Budapest, Hungary. You know, this place has been through a lot of suffering. At least 3 different occupations from the Turks, the Germans, and the Russians. But through the suffering, it's come out, like I say, as one of the most beautiful cities in the entire area of Europe. So, suffering. That's one of the things we have to be able to face if we're going to finish strong. You know, I was in Burundi, Africa a few years ago, and I met some people who were refugees, and man, they were really suffering, but they had the joy of the Lord. It was amazing. I saw every day they get up, their entire daily job basically is to pray and then go out and find food so they can live. Really difficult, but they had big smiles and they knew the Lord. They were willing to face that suffering every day. You know, that's what we've been called to. 1 Peter 2:21. We've been called to suffer. Jesus left us in examples what it says. So the question today is this: will suffering make you quit? Are you going to finish strong, or are you going to quit when it gets hard? Because one thing we know for sure, suffering will come. Not too long ago I was in Bangladesh and I met a guy. He'd grown up in an orphanage, so basically he had nothing. But you never would have guessed it from being around him. He had a big smile. The joy of the Lord also is all over him. He's working for the gospel right now. Amazing example of a person who has endured suffering. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to face it? I think it helps to get out in the world and see people who aren't as fortunate as you are. You know, there's people all over the world that suffer so much, and for us to go and to see, to have a little experience, to hear their testimonies makes a big difference. So I want you to consider going on a short-term trip. Go to China or India or somewhere and see some people who don't have nearly as much as we do. And you'll be encouraged. You'll be encouraged not because you have it better off, but because these people are continuing on and not quitting. The question is, will finishing happen for you, or will suffering make you quit? Because finishing requires suffering. So, you can read more about this. I have some examples of present-day people in my book called Finish. Some examples that they wrote, some interviews I took of people who are suffering. So I would encourage you to get a copy of that book. If for some reason maybe you have a copy already and you'd like to get one for a friend who's gone through some difficult times, do that. You can get a copy at www.shop.blessthenations.com. Okay, next time, I don't know where I'll be, but I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.